Thank you very much indeed for keeping Ukraine in a top and deliver the truth about the Russian aggression in Ukraine and about how brave and heroic is Ukrainian to protect our soil, to protect our future, to protect our freedom and our democracy. We are in the center of Kiev. We are here to protect Ukraine, and the Russian position is about a little bit more than 2 kilometers from here. This is very difficult to explain. What does it mean in the 21st century, in the middle of Europe, to be awakened by the Russian missile attack, by the Russian air bomb attack, when the people are shouting, and this is the civilian who is suffering a lot from the disastrous Russian aggression. First of all, I would like to thank West for support, because this is the great demonstration that Ukrainian people are not alone. And the only scene of Ukrainian people is just, we want to be free. We want to be democratic, and we want to return back our country to the European family. And with that situation, we have a Putin who hate Ukraine and hate Ukrainian. And with that situation, he launched an aggression, and for the last 72 hours, more than 3,000 Russians were killed, more than 20 planes were hit, more than 100 tanks were destroyed, and more than 1,000 armed personnel carrier was destroyed. And this is the demonstration how Ukrainian army, how Ukrainian soldiers, and how Ukrainian people is absolutely cancel, break Putin's scenario of blitzkrieg. We again demonstrate that despite of the fact that we were not prepared for this aggression, Ukrainian people are definitely not accept Putin. And we make a decision that civilian members of the battalion of the territorial defense receive the weapons. And today in the Kiev, the Putin will meet hell. And the Russian people and the Russian soldiers who come here to kill Ukrainians will pay the big price. But we should understand that this war is not about Ukraine. This war is about you, our dear partners, about the West, about free world, because nobody knows where tomorrow will appear Putin. And that's why your assistance, your effective contradiction to the Putin's aggression is vital for us, Ukraine. We're standing 2 kilometers from the Russian troops.
So, as a former president, you personally have a weapon, you have a gun, and you are prepared to fight on the streets of Kyiv, the Russians, when that happens. Is that going to be in the next few hours, if they're only 2 kilometers away?
We already have Russian troops on this distance for more than 24 hours. And our battalion is meeting the enemy on the most difficult regions. Our soldiers participating in the freeing from Russian paratroopers Gostomel airport. We meet Russian soldiers on the entrance from the Obolon district. We now participating in the securing the governmental quarter or securing the mayor building in Kiev. And that's why this is a very responsible mission. And I'm together with my people, with the enthusiasm, with the volunteers from the Kiev who come here to protect the independence. And we're waiting the important steps from our allies, from our partners. We waiting the strengthening the sanction. And I'm very much happy that just a few minutes ago, we received the information that there is no any nation in the European Union who can block introduction of the sanction to switch Russia off the SWIFT payment system. This is the way how we should make a pressure on Putin to not only to press the price, but to motivate them to stop the aggression and to withdraw Russian troops from Ukraine. We are waiting from our partners the action for blocking and arrest Russian plane in the airport of the NATO member states and EU member states, because this is an effective state. To arrest the ships in all of these ports of EU and NATO, to introduce the non-flying zone above Ukraine, because again, I just want to remind you that this is a disaster to hear during the day and during the night the air alarm evidencing that the Russian bomber player hitting the air bomb or Russian cruise missiles attacking the cities of Ukraine.
On that point, sorry to interrupt, because I'd just like to ask you about that point, about the no-fly zone. If NATO brought in a no-fly zone, ultimately that could mean NATO forces shooting down Russian aircraft. Surely that would lead to World War III?
Definitely not, because this is Ukrainian sky, and we have a full power on the based on international law, to introduce any regime on the sovereign Ukrainian territory, including our airspace. And with this situation, this is just a prohibition for Russian plane using our airspace in a violation of the international law. We should introduce absolutely any steps who can limit the aggression, who can support Ukraine. And we would be very much happy if it would be not NATO anti-aircraft system, but all member states to give to Ukrainian soldiers the anti-aircraft system, that we can protect our skies by ourselves. I think this is fair.
Apologies. You've said recently that Putin is not only mad, but he is evil as well. And you've already alluded to the fact that this may well not stop at Ukraine. Does he have ambitions beyond Ukraine?
Definitely, yes. And this is absolutely different understanding what's happening in Ukraine in year 2014 and what's happening in year 2022, because Putin he lives in the borders of the Warsaw Pact. For him, the borders of Russia finishing, for example, in Dresden, when he served as a KGB agent during his KGB career. But I have a feeling that he still remained a KGB officer. And this is his understanding of the world order. And world order for him is a Russian order. And no nation can feel themselves in the security if they have a Putin as his neighbor. So with this situation, that can be, I don't know, Baltic states, Poland, Romania, Bulgaria. But the real place for Putin is not Central and Eastern Europe. The real place for Putin is the military tribunal in Hague. And this should be responsibility for the dozens of thousands of Ukrainians which were killed directly by Putin order.
And finally, are you holding a weapon now? Do you have a weapon in your hands? When do you fear that you're going to have to use it?
I don't have a weapon in my hand yet, but I have it with me. And I do it with a great pleasure to protect Ukraine. And if we do not attack anybody, we do not do anything who can harm any country or any territory. But definitely we do our best to protect our future, because our future is a future as a member of European Union. Our future is a future as a member of NATO. And definitely we should use any opportunity to protect our people, to protect our soil. I have with me this, by the way, Austrian weapons as Glock. But this is not our main strength. We think that the decisiveness of our soldiers, decisiveness of our armed forces, decisiveness of our soldiers who attack Russian tank, by the way, by the American Javelin, by the British and Swedish Love, and significant number of the Russian tank who were destroyed during the last 72 hours is because of your assistance. Please increase your assistance. Please, we need the protection armored jacket. We need the helmet. We need the anti-tank, we need anti-aircraft. We just need to increase our defensive capability to stop the crazy aggressor in Europe.
How worried are you about bloodshed? How worried are you about those civilians who are right now? We have footage of civilians in Ukraine building Molotov cocktails, getting ready to fight, people with no training or very little training, prepared to do what it takes. This is going to be horrific, isn't it, for the civilian population of Ukraine?
No. Look, because we live in this condition for already 8 years. We have a war, not a frozen conflict, but the hot war we have. And the Ukrainian peasant pays an enormous price. We know who is the Russian aggressor. Putin said that in Ukraine, the people will meet Russian soldiers with the flowers and preparing the Molotov cocktail. This is the flowers for Putin. And definitely, this is our soil. This is our country. This is our people. And Putin has nothing to do here. Get out from Ukraine, Mr. Putin.
We appreciate your time and we wish you the very best. Former President of Ukraine, Petro Poroshenko, thank you so much
for speaking to us. Thank you, and please keep Ukraine in focus. Thanks a lot.